Good morning, Birmingham. 9:06 on the 6th of July of 2026. That's a lot of sixes all together in one place. Too many, really, when you think about it. Hello. Got a wet one today. Looks like 60% chance of rain this afternoon, 88 degrees. 91 for a high tomorrow and Wednesday, and about 50% chance each of those 2 days. This, of course, is our standard weather pattern. You're familiar with it, and you're used to it. And no, it's not hotter than ever this year. May feel that way because it hasn't been warm, for a few months. But this is a pretty typical Alabama summer thus far. Remember, we are already into July. I don't know about here. I think here is we probably peak out temp-wise in mid-August. But I know down when I lived in Montgomery for 5 years, the heat really hit in about September. Like the first 2 weeks of September, nobody scheduled anything.
Yeah, August 15 to September 15,
yeah,
pretty much
that's
your hottest month.
That is a hot month, man. That is
Yes.
a hot 4 weeks right there. He's Mark Spud Friedman in for the vacationing Valerie Vining today. Alabama Tree Pros is ready to take your tree out, take it down, trim it up, do whatever it is you need done with it. Maybe even save it if possible. Saving it is probably going to be your most cost-effective method, but if you want the tree gone, they're still less expensive than the other guys. Alabama Tree Pros brings out all the right tools, all the stuff they need, as many men as is necessary to do the job correctly, quickly, and safely, and that's what I love about them. Safety is a huge deal with them. Also, they specialize in trees that are, close to power lines, close to your house. They took mine out. It was only, 4 or 5 feet away? Yeah. That thing would fall on my house. We'd be singing a different song right now, I'll tell you that. Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158, online at alabamatreepros.com. They're licensed and they're bonded and they're insured, and they staple all of that to the back of your very low estimate. The Disney Grooming Syndicate is considering purchasing Lionsgate in an effort to win back males and females and give its damaged franchises a rest. Lucasfilm, Marvel, Pixar, they've all taken a hit. Really, right now, Toy Story 5 is doing well, but, you go back and you look at what happened with Buzz Lightyear. Not so good. Not so good. So, yeah, that was a problem. So they're like, well, what can we do? How about we bring in this other completely different entity, Lionsgate, and see if we can't get them to churn out some movies that are going to be a little different and maybe, look, Lionsgate responsible for Hunger Games, Michael John Wick. So maybe that could help revive Disney a little bit. But at some point,
if they keep their hands off of it.
Well, that's true. It's a little bit like the people who move from blue states to red states and then continue voting blue. You can't do that. You have to start voting red at that point. At the same time, Disney just buying. They've lost $4 billion on the Star Wars franchise. They paid $4 billion for it.
Oh, yeah.
And then, they didn't make anywhere near enough money off of the new stuff that they were creating that it was going to pay that off. And they lost enough money on some of the stuff, some of the stuff that they were putting on Disney Plus streaming that was just horrific, that somebody sat down and calculated and said it was about a wash. They've lost about $4 billion on this. I'm like, well, how do you survive as a company if you're going to keep losing $4 billion?
This is their stock chart.
Good Lord.
This is their stock chart for 1 year.
$97.08, kids. 97.08. That's where it is now. Where did it begin?
All over the place there, isn't it?
Where did it begin a year ago? Can I ask you that?
Yeah, I got that.
Hold
it
on.
was at its peak 123.
Okay.
And now 99.
Not terrible, but they're going to have to do something to pull themselves
Pretty
out of
terrible
this.
when everything else has gone up.
That's
like
true.
Crazy.
That's true. Yeah, if it were a question if they were just losing less money than everyone else, that would be okay. But at some point, they're going to have to actually start creating something that people want to see. And I'll give it to them. Toy Story 5, but wow, how many times are you going to go back to that well?
Well, and they weren't expecting to. You mentioned Lightyear.
Yeah.
The solo film. That was what they were thinking that they were going to start doing, is just taking some of those characters and spinning them off and doing different films specifically about that character. But Lightyear flopped so badly that Pixar heads and Disney heads said, hey, let's go back to Toy Story 5. And they went, we don't know what to do.
Didn't
so they
it
popped
didn't
this
have
one
a
out.
disappointing second week?
It's not doing as well as the previous 4 installments. No.
Okay.
We'll talk a little bit about that more next segment.
So let me
that's
see if
right.
I
I
got
don't
this
wanna
straight.
intrude.
They tried to take one character and do his origin story, and it bombed, and so they decided not to make any more.
Yeah, they panicked and said, let's just do another whole conglomeration Toy Story.
Are we talking about Buzz Lightyear or Solo, a Star Wars story?
Yes.
Which one is it?
As a matter of fact, yes.
They followed the exact
That's
same
right.
path. Weird. I like honesty, and country music tends to be kind of honest, which is good. Three chords on the truth, right? River Shook is going through a big time in their life. They just released a new record, and they're out on tour. Shook performed in Newport, Kentucky on Friday and had a July 4th show in Berea, Kentucky on Saturday. But the tour got off to a rough start after low ticket sales made them cancel a pair of concert stops in Tennessee.
It would help if I'd ever heard of them.
I would think so too, but there's always groups I've never heard of out there that the guy that recently died in the helicopter crash, Oliver Tree, and he was out on tour and he was making money, and I'm just like, how did he have a helicopter? What the hell? I've never heard of this cat. Apparently he was popular among some, just not my group.
I'll have to go and check these guys out. Again, I don't think I've ever heard a song by them.
Well,
You
River
might
Shook-
be able to get real good tickets, not pretty
now,
cheap.
yeah, probably.
Unless they
assuming
cancel
that they
the
actually,
concert.
assuming they actually come.
They said, look, we're not going to start lying to you now. I mean, we can make up stories about my van breaking down or whatever. It's like, we just didn't sell enough tickets, so we canceled the shows. Okay.
Steve and I have really good close friends, Beverly and Judd, and they drove all the way to Toronto. He's the biggest Rush fan I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Drove all the way to Toronto. Concert canceled because they couldn't get their equipment out of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So then they stay up there because it was rescheduled a week later. They stay up there. That cancels concert because Geddy Lee has laryngitis.
Yikes.
Not
How,
meant to
how
be,
would you
man.
know when he had laryngitis? Doesn't it sound like that all the time?
No.
Oh, wow.
Stop
Uh-oh.
that.
I hope he's not
Why,
listening.
You.
We'll find out tonight.
I'm an anti-Rushite.
The real problem with getting the equipment out of Mexico was Trump has sealed the border. It was very difficult. They could have smuggled it across before, but not
Should
now.
have put it in the bags with the English soccer team and
There you go.
run it back out.
I don't know these people either. Speaking of country
Nor do
music
I.
artists we don't know, John Party and Summer Party.
I don't know Summer. I know him. He's got a couple of hits out there. He's not one of the bigger country music stars that I know of.
Well, when it comes to their marriage, the party's over.
Well, see ya.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
I got where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm. They shared the news on Friday in a joint Instagram post. After much thought, we have made the difficult decision to end our marriage. Our daughters will always remain our highest priority, and we're committed to moving forward with love and respect as co-parents. Blah, 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 blah. All right, parties. 5 years they were married. They couldn't take it more than 5 years. Psh, wimps.
Who are the biggest country music stars now putting out new music?
Well, we love Ella Langley. She's from down around the Montgomery area.
Mhm.
Is there any
Other
Toby
than
Keiths
that-
or Alan Jacksons or
I wouldn't know.
Garth
no.
Brooks or
No, not really. I mean, Chris Stapleton was the last real big one. You got the Luke Bryans and the Luke Combs and the Blake Sheltons of the world that have been out there for a while.
Yeah. Who's that? Morgan Wallen?
Morgan Wallen's
Still
been
big?
one of the later big
I
ones.
think he's pretty big.
Yeah. I couldn't name a song by any of them. I don't really listen. I I look at my musical taste the same way I look at my friendships. I'm just kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm full. I don't have room for any more.
Well, and
Nothing else I can do.
I
for
got
you.
off that boat a long time before you did.
it kind of goes back to that conversation we were having earlier about, flipping around on Sirius XM satellite. And I do Prime Country, which is 80s, 90s stuff, which I really love.
That's my favorite
That is
time,
my
too.
favorite
But
country right there.
I've started checking out Y2K because I'm like, well, I'm doing music trivia. Maybe I can find something here that might go, okay, I'll play that. But that's really the only reason I'm doing it is because of music trivia.
For
There's-
work.
When I play bridge, instead of having dead silence on the computer online, I put 5132 on whatever the music thing is on my cable, and that's called No Fences country music.
Yeah.
And I ran into the song I Don't Even Know Your Name by Alan Jackson. I thought, this is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
This
Video
is-
featuring Jeff Foxworthy.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Dave Chappelle was talking about Travis Kelce's bachelor party. Not that he was there. In fact, he was there with CNN. You know, he was on with the Andy Cohen and the other guy, Anderson Cooper, right? And conversation naturally turned to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And one of the two pointed out that Travis Kelce went to see a Dave Chappelle show, brought a bunch of his friends, and said that was technically his bachelor party when he came to see you. Did you interact with him at all that night? Chappelle said, no, I wasn't invited. I didn't interact with him, but it's the first time I've ever seen a bachelor party without hose. And that really quieted the room down.
They said it was a fandango up in Madison Square Garden. 1,000 people and famous people from every walk of life.
When I bring myself to care, we'll talk about it, but
I don't think that's
going to take a minute. 9:18, Dixon and Vining, stick around. 9:23. Without further ado, you're listening to Dixon and Vining. Mark Spud Friedman in for the vacationing Valerie Vining today. The guy filling in tomorrow is this guy.
It's Steve's turn.
So if you, on this long holiday weekend we just wrapped up, happen to go to the movies, you probably saw one of probably three. Top money earners were both family animated fare, the debut of Minions and Monsters. We kind of figured that was going to be the number one film, and Toy Story 5 coming in second right behind it, and neither one is a surprise, truth be told. Toy Story 5, even though, again, something of an afterthought, something even Pixar admitted, it's still Pixar and it's still Toy Story 5, and we're comfortable with it. Then there's Minions, the latest spin-off of the Despicable Me franchise. It's been a dependable moneymaker for Illumination Animation Studios as well. Go back to Friday. Friday's numbers showed Minions pulling in about $16 million. Numbers thought to come in between $90 and $100 million worldwide. So for the United States, that translated into a rather soft $61 million on the weekend. By far the worst opening weekend of any movie in the Despicable Me franchise. As for Toy Story 5, estimates place the weekend intake at just over $30 million. That's a significant drop from week to week as well. Third place, however, might come as something of a surprise. And it goes back to something we talked about a couple hours ago when we were talking about patriotic films. Maybe this one could be one to add to your list. And I'm not talking about a tentpole film like Supergirl. No, that continues to flounder. Talking about a movie called Young Washington. This is a film that was put out by Angel Studios, directed by Birmingham's own John Irwin. Initial estimates thought to only bring in about 10 to 12 million at best. Yeah, pulled in that number. They say $20.1 million in its opening weekend. Irwin said he's planning on this being something of a series. This film will be following a young George growing up to become a member of the colonial military before the Declaration of Independence, choosing to shun the British in favor of helping the colonials attempt to break away from British overrule. We now know how that worked out, considering what we celebrated over the weekend. The Irwin brothers are also pulling in some pretty good name stars, too. This film stars names like Mary Louise Parker, Kelsey Grammer, Andy Serkis, and Ben Kingsley. And Irwin says he's planning on a sequel to pair with it to tell the entire life story of the father of our country. As for the aforementioned Supergirl, it limped home fourth, not even breaking another $10 million. Variety, Hollywood's entertainment magazine, said Supergirl is probably going to top out at about $200 million worldwide, and when it finally gets pulled from most movie theaters, means it'll probably end up losing about $100 million in total. As for Young Washington, it's getting rave reviews from all who have actually gone to see it. That includes notable actor Chris Pratt, who saw it and then posted on social media, quote, "I was blown away. That movie is incredible, like Braveheart for Americans," said John Irwin crushed it. Now, the thing about movies from the Irwins and others like them, either together or separate, movie critics don't tend to care for them. Young Washington, much the same. Combined critic score is only coming in at 58% if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, but audiences who have seen the film, as noted, are raving about it with a combined score of 94%. It's a familiar pattern for the Irwin brothers. They figured out how to make quality movies without a sky-high budget, too. Remember when I said it looks like about $20.1 million in its opening weekend? Most estimates, it hasn't been confirmed yet, say that Young Washington was produced for about $20 million. Made it back in one weekend, and probably will stick around for a while longer. And one of these days, maybe one of these days, I keep hoping, Hollywood might understand that these are movies that we actually kind of want to go see, and they'll go figure out how to make more of them without Disney buying up the studio and then messing it up by putting their grubby hands all over it.
It could happen. Let's keep a good thought.
We can hold out hope.
Speaking of movies, I did in fact see Citizen Vigilante.
Did you
on
now?
Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah. I bought that and watched it right before I flipped on the Independence Day. Yeah, it sent me back $14.99. I don't regret it. I'll watch it again.
Okay, I was going to ask, $14.99. Was it worth it?
Yeah. It's one of these truncated movies where they'll show you stuff out of order sometimes.
Ah, okay.
And it'll be a little preview of what's coming up. Like, what in the world is this? What's going on over here? There are parts of it that don't make sense, like, why is this guy being questioned and then never taken into custody? That's sort of weird.
Okay.
If they know that this is actually him, then they know where to get him and what the problem is. Anyway, Armie Hammer plays a very wealthy American guy who went through West Point obviously had a career in the military. And then his father, who owned a whole bunch of buildings in this unnamed European country, where they all speak English with an accent.
Huh, go figure.
Yeah, he passed away and left all of it to Army Hammer. So he is responsible for going and taking care of this and managing things and whatever. Aside from a completely gratuitous sex scene in the middle of the movie, I mean,
Sure,
look,
why not?
don't get me wrong, I'm a red-blooded American male, but when you are throwing in a sex scene for zero reason whatsoever except to have a sex scene in there, I was just like, come on, guys, you can do better than this. But what it really does is shines a light on a very serious problem Europe is having with their migrants and with their refugees. These guys are getting away literally with murder in some cases, and they're certainly getting away with rape in case after case after case. And the law, both the police and the judicial system there, are turning a blind eye and allowing a lot of very bad things to happen. Now, I've read about this and I've heard about this and I've watched. I try to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening over there. This film might unfairly make it seem worse than it is, but I don't think it does. I think this is actually giving you a pretty good view of what's happening in Europe right now where that's concerned. And this guy, Armie Hammer, being a vigilante, kind of a Batman-esque guy, his superpower is money.
Well, hey, doesn't hurt.
Yeah. And at the end of the movie, they actually throw that up on the screen, and they talk. It gives you a couple of lines about the migrant problem in Europe, and that they're going to have to fix it, or it's only going to get worse. I was like, wow, okay, movie with a message.
Turn into Chicago.
It was made completely outside of any studio system, and cost about $750,000 to make. They said, and it has already made $80 million.
I think they're in good shape.
That is amazing.
Pretty good return.
I'd recommend it if you can get past kind of the cheapness of the way that it's made. The acting is good, but it feels a little cheap. All
The
the way around.
$750,000
I
kind of
wish
shows
we had
through.
more time for the gratuitous sex scene.
9:30. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5. 9:36, Dixon Dividing, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Classic Ringo right there. He loves the toms. Loves the toms. Gives it a nice little,
With towels on top.
a little heart feel. He also plays a little bit behind the beat, but you have to actually be a drummer to recognize that.
I saw there was an interview with him on some guy who was obviously a music expert. He said, I can't get anybody to stay behind the beat like you. He said, what was it? Is it the left-handed thing again? He said, partially that and partially the medication.
I love it. 9:37, Dixon Dividing, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. He is Mark Spud Friedman. And Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing has a big commercial absolute land auction in Pell City coming up 10 days from today. 10 days. It is the 16th of July. Check this out. No minimums or reserves. Around 34 commercial acres in a truly great location right there on frontage road. We got frontage of both US 231 and Stemley Bridge Road. Big prominent intersection right there next to Publix. Publix is there. You've seen the Publix in Pell City. I know you have. Traffic count is over 15,000 cars a day. And the auction is, as I said, on July the 16th. GTauctions.com has a whole bunch of information to find out more about this thing. The auction staff welcomes your questions on this property, which has not been out of the single family's hands for 70 years. 70 years. Also never been developed. Huge. This is huge. It's huge. It's amazing. You got to go find out more. GTauctions.com. This great auction coming up 10 days from now. About 34 commercial acres, perfectly positioned in Pell City. There are two other auctions I want to tell you about, but that's going to wait till later because I don't want to confuse you with too many numbers and too many locations. I just want you to focus on these one at a time. But when you go to GTauctions.com, you will find info about other auctions that are coming up there as well, so you can go take a look at that. Please do. GTauctions.com. The TSA, as Spud gleefully said, is taking an awful lot of ranch away from travelers who are headed back to their home countries from the World Cup. And unfortunately, they haven't figured out you can't put it in your carry-on bag, so they surrender it at security. TSA has already confiscated ranch dressing from several travelers. The agency leaned on the viral trend with a series of jokes, including one that read, "Okay, please avoid chugging your ranch outside security. The airlines will check it for you." Fortunately for ranch-loving soccer fans, the UPS store has stepped in with a solution. The retailer's new Ship and Dip promotion gives customers 20% off international shipping for bottles of ranch dressing. The offer is available now through September 30th at participating UPS store locations nationwide and is limited to one coupon per customer. So make it good.
How could these people have gone so long without hearing about that in any, they come something brand new to them?
Yeah, I find that odd as well because, when I was in Ireland, I didn't really run across any sauces that were unknown to America. There wasn't like, try a black sauce. No, there was nothing weird like that.
What do they put on salads over there?
I never saw anybody eat a salad the whole time I was there.
Maybe
so
there's
I
your answer.
It might be
You don't
it.
need salad dressing if you
Yeah.
don't have salads.
I'm sure they have, Italian vinegar and
Thousand
oil.
Island?
I don't think they have Thousand Island. I didn't see any. French. They get the French. You know why? Because they're French.
There you are.
You get away with that.
Orange or red?
Yeah. More reddish. Yeah. Pretty good. I mean, I assume I didn't eat any while I was there either. I was like, I'm in Dublin. I'm not eating salad. Give me the fish and chips.
You
with
didn't
the
eat anything,
malt
Richard.
vinegar.
You drank a lot.
I did drink quite a bit, but I ate it while I was there. I had some good food while I was there. Burger King's new chicken fries taste like a can of Pringles. Why do you want that?
That's a good question.
Wouldn't you want your chicken fries to taste like chicken
Yeah,
and not like
makes sense.
Pringles?
The one time you want it to taste like chicken.
Now available across the UK, Burger King and Pringles have teamed up to launch Pringles sour cream and onion chicken fries, combining the chip brand's iconic seasoning with BK's crispy chicken snack. The limited-time menu item layers the tangy, savory flavor of Pringles sour cream and onion onto Burger King's chicken fries, creating a mashup that feels tailor-made for anyone who's ever gone digging for the last bits of seasoning at the bottom of a Pringles can.
Did Burger King miss the memo in the UK that they're trying to get a whole bunch of ranch, not sour cream and onion?
Maybe they should have come up with a ranch flavor. That would have been good. Maybe they will. Probably not, though, because they're Burger King. Chain restaurant that has just 4 items on their menu. No, we don't have it, but it is a place called NADC.
What's that stand for?
Not a damn chance burger.
Okay, I like it.
I do too.
So far, we're off on the right foot.
I'm in.
It has 13 locations. 5 are in Texas, 2 are in Chicago. 2 more recent openings have sprouted in Los Angeles, Denver, and New York now. There are literally only 4 things on the menu. The main item is the NADC burger, which is a double smash cheeseburger made of Wagyu beef, topped with secret sauce, pickles, onions, and jalapenos. A kid's version of the burger comes with just 1 patty and cheese. Then the NADC serves a burger's best friend, French fries, and for dessert there are brown butter chocolate chip cookies. And that's it. You can order the fries as is, but you can also upgrade them to something called Beast Mode fries, which adds cheese, pickles, special sauce, jalapenos, and a seasoning blend. There's no complicated In-N-Out Burger secret menu here. The fact that the chain specializes in just a few things is reminiscent of places like Raising Cane's, which pretty much just serves chicken tenders and crinkle-cut fries and aims to do them consistently and reliably. I'm a big fan.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. You'll notice every time one of these fast food places tries to, we have to revamp the menu. We're not making the kind of money we think we should be making. The revamp always includes dumping stuff, getting rid of the stuff that's they're really not selling very much of,
Right.
and focusing on the stuff that sells, the 80-20 law. These guys are smart. They start off just with, this is the basic. This is what, and I have a feeling the NADC stands for, if you say, could I get that without jalapenos? Not a damn chance.
That's right. That reminds me of the breakfast. The menu in the diner in My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
Had 3 items: breakfast, lunch, dinner.
That's right.
What will you have? Breakfast. I think it's a good idea.
Let's try breakfast. What is a grit? Velveeta is actually owned by, you know who owns Velveeta, by the way?
Kraft.
Of course they do.
Kraft.
Does it worry you that the 2 major mac and cheese brands on the shelf are owned by the same company? This is like Big Mac and Cheese. I'm worried there's a trust-busting thing going on here that needs to be looked at.
Do you think that the people could pass a taste test if you gave them both?
I don't know if they could pass. I know that they do taste different from each other. And I believe that Velveeta is a little gooier, for want of a better term. Is that what I'm trying to say? I think gooier. I like them both, don't get me wrong. But you would have to get the special, because, the Velveeta has got the pouch of liquid cheese in it. And Kraft makes one that has that as well. So if you're going to compare apples to apples, you'd have to have both of those being the ones that you test against each other.
Couldn't you buy, I remember as a child, couldn't you just buy a brick of Velveeta that was the cheese itself, not with macaroni or anything? It was like a Kraft single.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and first, I think it's cute that you think that Velveeta is cheese. Secondly, yes, they actually do still sell it. It sits right there on the shelf because it's shelf stable. It is air sealed into that foil packet, and you can buy smaller blocks and you can buy giant. I think they've got like a 7-pound version if you really want to clog yourself up.
Hey,
Yeah.
are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, this might be just for you. Might be what they're looking for. I just find it funny that, the 2 major brands of mac and cheese on your grocery store shelf are owned by the same company, and yet they somehow taste different, and they act like they're competing with each other. You're like, yeah, this would be like if Coke owned Pepsi. Who are we kidding here?
Right.
Hungry Howie's is launching a limited-time spicy sesame crust. Do we have a Hungry Howie's, Steve?
On Montclair Road.
Montclair?
I looked it up last night.
Really?
There's not too far from my house.
And there's another one I'm showing in
Tuscaloosa?
Alabaster.
Alabaster.
Oh, Alabaster, Tuscaloosa, and Northport.
Mm-hmm.
Alabaster.
I'll be damned.
And there's one actually in Montgomery.
I used to go to the one in Helena, and then it sold out
Yeah,
and
bye.
became
That's
something
out.
else.
That's gone. See you.
Chain described the crust in a press release as a combination of a bold blend of toasted sesame and savory spices, delivering a nutty richness with a satisfying kick of heat. Please, it's Hungry Howie's. Let's not kid ourselves. It is baked directly onto the pizza dough and is perfect for the customer who enjoys bold flavor elevated with heat. Okay. I actually like Hungry Howie's pizza. I mean, it's great for what it is.
Yeah, you did a rundown of pizzas in a previous show, and you liked it. You said you liked it then. It was ranked higher than I thought. I thought it was most like gas station. What's that one that every gas station sells?
Oh my God, Hunt Brothers.
Hunt
Yeah.
Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, not a fan. It's okay.
I've had it
Yeah.
once, maybe twice. I found the taste to be okay, but man, you want to talk about greasy.
Yeah,
Oof.
I ran across one that was at a MAPCO station in Georgia, and they served a completely different kind. And they had like big ads in the window for this pizza, and you could get whole pizzas of this that were cooked and ready to go, or you could just get slices. And I was like, well, all right, this is obviously a really big deal. I mean, I bet it's better than Hunt Brothers. So yeah, I went ahead and bought a slice to kind of see me along my way. Oh, the worst. It was so bad. It was
so good.
It's hard to
so
make bad pizza.
Oh,
It is hard to make. I mean, you can make average pizza.
But these people worked at it and succeeded. I know
Okay.
that they put the
I
effort
like
in.
the stick to it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So
That's
they
called,
put a sincere lack of effort in. Huh?
that's tenacity, my friend. Dollar Tree just brought back a $1.25 treat that people are going crazy for. Dubai style chocolate. Remember when this was all the rage a minute ago?
Yeah, vaguely.
You brought some in, Steve, as I recall.
Yeah, I did, I think.
And it was actually really good. Really good. It's made with pistachio and kadaif, a Middle Eastern pastry similar to shredded phyllo dough. And then the chocolate itself is, phenomenal. And they're now selling like little tiny bars for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. It's so rich that literally I don't think I could eat more than one of these bars. I'm interested in what the calorie count is on these things for the $1.25 version, Probably 200 calories anyway, because it really is rich and crazy and creamy and little nutty and lightly crispy and Dubai chocolate. There's a reason I don't buy it. I'd go right to the bottom of it. I go to Home Goods every once in a while to pick up some stuff, and they've got it sitting right there at the register, and I have to put on the blinders and not buy it.
Temptation. I can resist everything but temptation.
Oh, good Lord. 9:50 is our time. We'll get your texts coming up, plus the Dixon and Vining question of the day. Stick around.
$540 to $500.
Dixon Dividing, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. It is Mark Spud Friedman and Richard Dixon here with you for another couple of minutes before we hand things off to Skippy and Jimbo. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out whether or not they have actually ruled on the Belgian or not. It's tough to say because they keep saying the same kind of thing over and over again. I don't think they've ruled on Belgium's appeal as of yet. Right now, I guess at the moment, Belgium's playing.
No, from everything I can tell, he's still right now got the ban lifted. So
that's what I hear. That's what I understand. It is right now. So we may not hear anything except that he plays, and they never tell us anything about the process. I don't really care. Joe says Mapco in Odenville has Noble Roman's pizza. To me, it's better than Hunt Brothers pizza. No, that's the crap I was talking about. That was terrible.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oof. It was awful.
To each their own, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Dubai chocolate is so easy to make, says Lynn. All right, make us some. Let's go. Chip, chop, chip.
Oh, there you go.
Come on, lady. Hungry Howie's closed in Tuscaloosa, says Tanya. These
Oops.
people are always ahead of us. Closing several Hungry Howie's in Birmingham, says Richard the Cop. Stop telling me this.
Well, there's only a couple of them, so I guess maybe they're all going.
I'll drive past one of them on the way home, and I'll give you a heads up.
Please do. Did you guys happen to catch any of the Mexico versus England match last night? If not, you missed a good one. It got backed up to 8. I was going to watch it. I was like really all set up. I was on my sofa, and it was going to be 7. And then, no, they pushed it back to 8. I was like, okay, I can't do that because I'll get caught up in it, and then I'll never go to sleep. So I didn't watch it. And
Exactly the same for me.
No, I was watching the Cup Series race from Chicago.
England managed to pull off a win. Good for them. But Mexico, they look like really evenly matched. Mexico, tough nut to crack there. Philip says you all need to check out Wheeler Walker Jr. and thank me later. All right, maybe we will. Zach Top, I don't know who that is. Let's see. Short-term memory loss is part of our lives, I'm finding out at 63. Dad referred to your problem with accessing names and places, your shelf of words, as his rusty Rolodex. Aggravating, to say the least. Yeah, I hate reaching for the word and it's not there. Janet says, hearing classical gas reminded me of a beautiful rendition of Mozart's 40th Symphony by Waldo de los Rios Orchestra from 1970. It is a beautiful guitar intro and really rocks. They were in Argentina. Well, she certainly lends credence to the rumors Ava Braun made it out. So, and somebody sends a note to Val in praise of Birmingham Broker. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Bob. Appreciate you using our sponsors, and everybody should, in our opinion. Now let's do this.
Dixon and Vining's question of the day.
All right, what leftovers are in your fridge right now, Steve?
Some cake that was left over from a party that happened at the winery over the weekend.
Okay.
That's really about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
What about you, Spud? Anything in your
Well,
fridge
my
at all?
diet has been limited
Yeah.
because of limitations.
Gotcha.
And but there is some deli turkey that I got at Publix
Okay.
that I put on a bagel, and that's approved.
Lovely. You're allowed to do that. I
That's
like
right.
it. Let's see. I've got leftover-wise, I've got hot dogs. I've got 2 burger patties with cheese on them. I've got some ribs. And almost none of the sides made it. Like all the sides got wiped out, which is
That's
weird.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
not a
is
bad
good.
thing.
No, I guess not.
I mean, you can always add the sides. You know.
Oh, yeah, I got 1 brat in there as well. Cherry says cut up brats and a cut up watermelon. Ooh, I could use some watermelon. Can no longer identify, says Deb. Ooch.
Got green sandwiches and brown sandwiches.
A few fried green beans, not much tater salad, some baked beans, a couple of hot dogs, very good. Joy says, none, we didn't cook a lot. Homemade pizza and barbecue pork loin, says Pete. Yum. Salad and barbecue chicken, ribs, pork chops, potatoes, baked beans, and banana pudding. Terry, I will be there for lunch.
Hello.
We will.
Chopped
be there.
barbecue, ribs, chow chow, potato salad, sweet and sour shrimp, maybe a piece of pizza with pepperoni and pineapple, says Sharon.
Talk about eating high on the hog. Whoa.
Girl after my own heart right there. Smoked Boston butt, says Greg. Cream cheese, mushroom jalapeno stuffed meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and barbecue baked beans. Cheryl says smoked baby back ribs, corn on the cob, coleslaw, a fresh baked homegrown blueberry cake, and a counter full of homemade tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers.
They grew cake in their backyard?
They
They're
grew
gonna have
cake.
to show me that.
I would like to know. Where do you
I've
find-
planted some cake seeds, but nothing has come up.
Never could find the cake seeds. I planted some bird seeds. I didn't get any birds to show up either. I don't need some answers here. Renee says nothing. Kyle says no leftovers. Janice says watermelon and cantaloupe, also delicious. All right. Thank you, Spot. Appreciate you being here, my friend.
Anytime.
You will drag you back in next time.
Guess what I'm about to do?
Go home and take a nap?
That's it.
All righty then. Back tomorrow, dark and early, 6 a.m. Me and Steve talk at you then. Bye-bye now.